Sit down in the bed.
That's the two kind heavy.
What's up? The boss man's got to be here.
Oh, okay. I don't have any matches.
No, he's got the man.
He's got the lighter.
You gonna light it?
Yeah, I'll light it now.
So, Mayor, that torch was actually blessed by Pope John Paul II on September the 5th, 2001 at Vatican City.
Was he holding it?
He was holding it, and he blessed it.
I'm holding a torch that the Pope was holding.
That's right. That's right.
Some of you will too, won't you?
Yeah.
Most are going to hold that. Yeah, we'll share it on the way up the street.
Yeah.
You know that there's one. This is to promote organ donation.
That's correct.
Yeah. You know, this area, I don't know if you people know this or not, but the county of Cumberland and its towns, that's Sparresboro, Spring Hill, Oxford, and Amherst, are known as one of the most generous area in Canada. Okay? They give the most to organizations that need support. Now, giving an organ is just another way, I think, of continue to give after you're gone. Isn't it an honor, I would think, to give an organ? I encourage, I have a daughter, just that some of you probably know my daughter, Monique. Well, she just graduated from St. Yves, but I encourage her to put on her driver's license to donate all of the organs that they can use so that she can continue living through somebody else. I've always had mine filled out that way, but now I don't think anybody wants my organs. I mean, they want to stay around a while. They don't want to shorten their lives, they want to increase it. So you young people are the ones that the whole population is going to be looking after to receive organs in the future. I hope you never have to give them. Believe me, I hope you can surpass me by 30 years. That would make you over 100, by the way. But anyway, we need to promote this. Just because you're not going to be giving it because you won't die, doesn't mean it shouldn't be on your driver's license. Nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. So I promote that wholeheartedly. Please put it on your driver's license. Promote it to all of your friends to put it on their driver's license. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow. And my congratulations to all of you for supporting this cause. And I hope that you enjoy carrying the torch that the Pope was carrying at one time. But congratulations. Who's going to start?
Heather.
It's warm, huh?
Yeah.
That's because of the hand.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to walk all the way back to school?
Yep.
And you're
Wanna
going
head
to
out?
pass the
Yep.
torch as you go?
That's what we plan to do. So we go in single file.
Okay, thank you very much, Mayor. That was well said.
Yes, I would look at it. Oh, we have to go this way. I know, I'm not. Where are you going? I don't like this far. We're going. Okay, we don't need this far. Yeah, I'm saving this stuff.
That was an excellent escort. Thank you. And now I'm going to do.
All right. Thank you and welcome. I know some of you are upset you'd rather be in class right now, but hey, that's the way life goes. Thank you for coming down. This is just for the grade 12s this afternoon. Some of you might have remembered Kristopher was in Amherst Regional High School 3 years ago. You would have been in the just getting here at that point. He is an organ recipient, and that's the point of this afternoon's assembly, is to give you some information to help you make a decision as you move on in your life about being an organ donor and what happens if you are somebody who's looking for somebody who's a kidney and all those good things that are going to happen as people age and go down the road. So the people who know more about it, I'm going to introduce you to is Kristopher Knowles, and he's going to talk to you a little bit about that this afternoon. Probably have a little bit of a question and answer thing at the very end if some of that doesn't make total sense to you. Kristopher, it's all yours.
Thanks. Well, first I'd like to start off to introduce actually my road team, the founder and CEO of our campaign, Step by Step, and this new campaign, 6th campaign, SOS4000. It's about organ and tissue donation. And how I got started was for the past, well, since I was born, I've been needing a liver transplant. The disease was called biliary atresia. It's It's not really a common disease. It's when I was born without any tubes on my liver, so nothing drains through it. So for the past 17 years, I've been going through 20 major surgeries just to keep me alive. And I'm still actually currently on hold for a liver transplant, so I haven't received one yet. They took me off the list about 3 years ago because they said it was too healthy, I guess. So a long time ago, I met George when he did his walk across Canada. Well, first it was across Ontario, and I got to go out there and meet him when I was about 10, and got to carry that torch because he let me, and felt proud carrying it. And then at the end, I was like really proud, and I was like, George, I want to walk across Canada too. Kind of laughed at me and took off. So I was like, well, okay, sweet, that's nice. And 2 years later, he came back again through my town, Sarnia, Ontario, and got to meet him for the second time. And this time he was doing a 769-day walk across Canada. He walked over how many kilometers, George? Like 12,000 kilometers. And so I got to meet him again, got to carry the torch once more, and I went up to him and I asked him, I was like, George, let me walk across Canada, And he's like, are you serious? I was like, well, no, yeah, I am. So he ended up kind of making it my wish, so they called it Kristopher's Wish. So I started my campaign on January 8th, 2004. And I worked my way west to Vancouver, BC. Then I flew to St. John's, Newfoundland, and walked back. And when I got into Toronto, I had the mayor of Nunavut call me and say that he wanted me to make my last steps up north. So I ended up going right up north to there and took my last steps in -40 weather, so it was pretty bad. I guess the significance of the torch was first time George carried it across Canada. He was doing it in memory of Victor Davis, was an Olympic swimmer. He received the most gold medals out of all of Canada, and after that he got in a car accident and passed away, and his family ended up donating all of his organs. So the first time we lit that torch was in memory of him, and it's still in memory of him, as well as all the other, I guess, organ recipients or people who donated their organs. And in about 2001, while George was on his walk, he got a call from Vatican City. And first he thought it was a prank call from his friend, because his buddy likes to call him and do pranks. So he called him, and it ended up being some Polish guy from the Vatican City asking George to go there and meet the Pope, Pope John Paul II. So George actually got to meet him face to face, and the torch was also blessed by the Pope and touched by him. And the Pope proclaimed to the whole world that organ and tissue donation is a genuine act of love, and he encourages everyone to become organ donors. So it was a very powerful thing. That torch has been right across Canada 3 times, and millions and I guess billions of people have touched it. And now we are here for our 6th campaign called SOS4000, and we're getting students from right across the country to relay the torch, because I haven't finished my walk, so I'm actually passing it to students right across the country. And we are here today in Amherst, and I gladly to pass it to Nicole, your representative for your high school. And she carried it from Town Hall all the way to here with the student council, well, half the student council, and the mascot. Where's that mascot guy? He's not here? No? Okay. Well, he was here, and it was a sweet walk. I got to drive. And I guess Nicole would like to say something, and then.
I guess, guys, this is going to be ongoing throughout the year. We're going to have different information sessions and stuff like that about organ donation. And the biggest thing is, let your family know how you feel about organ donation. And if you do feel that this is something you want, make sure you sign your donor card and let your family know what you want to do, because sometimes your wishes don't get carried out because of your family that doesn't know what you want to do. One person can save up to 8 people, and I think that's just reason in itself to be able to help that many people after you're not, I guess, using your organs anymore.
Great. Well, also I forgot to say how George got involved was in 96, 97, or 95? 95. George received a liver transplant, and after that, in about 2005, he was doing a Europe tour, and he got fatally ill, and one of his arteries got clogged, I guess. So he was in Paris, France, and he ended up needing a second transplant. Well, they told him he had like a month left to live, so they shipped him back to Toronto basically to die. And he ended up receiving a second transplant on his 50th birthday. So it was a very good birthday present, I guess. And because of that, he's alive today. And because of the family that donated their organs, 5 other people was also saved because of it. And because of that, George actually, thought, he's like, oh, I'm not done. I'm going to start walking again. So he ended up picking that torch up and passing it on to the students, actually, now this time. And we're going to be doing this for a year long. It's going to be a yearly basis. So when we come back next year, we are going to be passing the torch to someone else. Actually, Nicole will be passing the torch to someone else. And for the whole year this year, Nicole will be representing Amherst for organ and tissue donation and for Step by Step. And George, would you like to add anything while, here? Maybe?
First, if we can give them both a great hand. It does take a bit of courage to come up here and talk about these things, especially when they're personal, and you know that you're doing it so that you can possibly help somebody else. This is really important that this is taking place, especially here in Amherst. And I've talked to Nicole, and we had a chance to talk to some of the other students that arrived at the town hall. And I really feel that when I say we can get the job done in Amherst, we have one goal, and it's very specific. We are hoping that with Nicole being the torch champion and everybody else here at school and the rest of the community, the goal is really simple: to try and inspire everyone in Amherst to become an organ donor. Very simple, the goal. It's very simple, but it's going to be hard to do because it's going to be very challenging. So that's where we're hoping that some ideas can be created, how to do that. And then you can find out what the barriers are. Why aren't people becoming organ donors? Is it a religious thing? Is it because they think maybe once doctors find out that you're registered as an organ donor, they're going to immediately declare you dead and rob you of your organs? There's all these different fears that people might have. So part of the job will be probably to find out, what's preventing everybody from becoming an organ donor. So I think once you start diving into this issue and talking to people, creating activities and events, you'll find out probably how to find out what the solutions are. And our goal overall, and this is throughout Canada, is to hopefully get almost every major community across Canada doing what Amherst is going to do. So if we can get hundreds of communities across Canada doing the same thing, having those goals and trying to reach everybody in their community to become an organ donor, well, guess what? We're going to save over 4,000 people that are waiting right now for organ transplants. And that's got to be a noble goal. That's got to be something, and it's achievable. we don't have to look in a laboratory for a cure. You know, we don't have to spend millions and millions of dollars looking for something to find a cure. The cure is going to be awareness. It's going to be creating activities, events, and trying to reach people. And if we can do that in every community, we're going to save a lot of people. So the task ahead is I think, very achievable. And it's going to take time, though. It's going to take time because it's going to be difficult to try and reach everybody. So that's why we're hoping to do this every year. So that the first year, the group that's helping to put it together and doing all the things will be able to pass all that knowledge on to the second group that takes over. And then we keep continuing until Canada, instead of being at the bottom of the world when it comes to organization, gets to the top. And that's what Victor Davis' attitude was, and that's why we dedicated partly in his memory, was because he had a winning attitude to become a champion for Canada. And we can have the same winning attitude, but this time it's to try and save everybody. And it's that same kind of attitude that can get us there. So we're hoping that Amherst can lead the way, because we're creating a website that's going to show, you know, what every community is doing from coast to coast. And you know, as you've seen, we took a lot of pictures today, and we're doing this video, and you're going to be able to see what all the other communities are doing in their community, all the other schools, all the other torch champions, and you know, all the other, and I think one day, my dream, one day, is to get everyone together. Like, can you imagine trying from coast to coast, getting one big 3-day convention or something where we have over 100 different schools involved and coming, you know, and it can happen. These are dreams that can happen, and so that's what we're hoping for. But we can't do it alone. We can't do it alone. We're going to need the enthusiasm and the passion of people like Nicole and others that want to help make this situation better, because we have the opportunity to do that. So I really want to thank your vice principal for putting this together. You know, this wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for your vice principal. And thank you so much for making this possible. That were at the town hall this morning, you heard some very encouraging words from the mayor. You know, so you know you have the backing from the mayor as well. You know, and the media is behind this. They know how important this is. And they'll help you whenever you're doing any events or activities. You know, so you have a lot of backing. So it's going to be up to the community of Amherst right now to show the way what you can do throughout Canada, and people, when they see somebody doing good, then they want to do good, you know, so you can lead the way. So at this point, if there is any questions that want to be asked about this, if you have any questions, you know, we've got Chris and Nicole that can answer.
I'll try my best.
George, you talked about the numbers of donors. Canada is not a very strong country when it comes to donors?
No, it's not. It's ranked as one of the lowest in the world. And Spain, I'll just give you an example. Spain is the highest, and they roughly have about a 96% success rate when it comes to organ donations. That means 96% of the people that are on the waiting list are receiving organs. And then there's other countries that are closely right up there with Spain, Belgium, Austria, and most of the European countries actually are right up there with their rates being really high. Canada, United States is isn't much higher than Canada. We have extremely low rates, and I can say this, almost every day somebody's passing away in Canada, waiting for an organ that's not arriving.
Any other questions?
Yeah, sorry. I also want to mention, why I went to Europe that time was to get information. You know, what were these countries doing how were they recording such high rates? They must have been doing something right. And that's why I went there. It was called the European Tour, to discover what they were doing and then to bring back that information to Canada. And it's interesting because what Spain did was about 15 years ago, they changed their laws on the system of organ and tissue donation. What they developed was a system called opt-out, which meant that everybody in Spain was already registered as an organ donor unless they opted out. And after about a year, they had a dramatic increase of organ donations. And since then, they've been leading the world in organ donations. So that system was introduced in Canada, and in Ontario, there's a bill on the floor right now in Ontario. So whether that would work in Canada or not, I can't tell you, but it's worth thinking about though, because if it's really works, and if it could record the same kind of results, like 96%, like Spain, then would it be worth it to incorporate a law? Because basically it could be, when we look at what the shortcomings are here in Canada, it could be basically an administrative problem. From our travels, we found a lot of people that did want to become organ donors, but somehow they didn't have the time to sign that card and talk to their family about it. You know, like they always put it off or something, you know. And then when the time came, nobody knew about it, or no one knew how to act, and it wasn't acted on. So it could be viewed as just an administrative shortcoming, because if everybody was already registered, the awareness would already be there, and everybody would be more or less prepared that it's going to happen. And then you always have the freedom to opt out. So I personally would think that would work here in Canada, but on this campaign we're not here to promote that particular system, because I got into much trouble in Ontario trying to do that. What we're here is to really see what the students think. You know, we really want to see what the students think and feel about this, because you're the next generation, and you're the ones that are going to solve this or not solve it. So if the seeds are planted during your time about this issue, then you'll be that much more informed and educated on how to fix it, whether it's going to be that system or any other system. So hopefully the seeds could be planted right across the country around your age group. You know, and as a result, probably down the road in the future, we would never have to worry about having a shortage of organs, and that was such a long time ago where we had this shortage. You know, hopefully down the road we can look back and say, geez, why couldn't we fix it way back then? You know, so I think the answer is in the students, is my guess.
Well, in Nova Scotia, how does somebody become a donor? Is it simply signing on the driver's license in Nova Scotia? Is that
Yes.
Somebody here that wants to be a donor, is that how they do that?
Yeah, in your province, when you're applying for your driver's license, there's a slip there that asks you if you want to become an organ donor, and there's actually two slips, one that you put in your wallet and one that you give to your family. And it's encouraged that when you do sign that slip, that you find some time to discuss this with your family. You know, discuss it discuss your wish that that's one day what you want to do. And really that's all that's asked, you know. And if you're someone that really like wants to go further, then you can also help by well, we got lots of these that we're going to drop off, wearing a wristband or telling somebody else about how important it is to be an organ donor. Primarily, if anybody's here thinking of getting their license soon, you can remember that. Remember that there's an organ donation slip there, and then see if you can have that conversation with your family.
And one last question. Can everybody be a donor? What's the exclusions like? What will prevent you from being a donor?
Well, what we say is that everybody here in Canada, every young and old person is eligible to become an organ donor. Don't qualify yourself out, because the physicians at the time will know whether your organs are viable or not. So rather than us become our own medical, and I can't do it because I have this or that, no, everybody becomes an eligible donor, and when the time comes, they'll know whether the organs are viable or not. Okay? Okay. Thank you very much.
One note at a time. I want to thank George, Chris. It's a bit of a spooky, well, Halloween. I didn't mean that pun there, but it is kind of a gruesome topic to talk about donating your organs, but it is, I think they've made a case for how important it is, and for you to all have some information to think about as you get a little older, and maybe down the road, one of the years when you redo your driver's license, you might want to make that decision. So I thank you for coming in and giving us the information. You can head back to class and get your books.
No, I can't.
Okay. Talk. You're on camera.
Oh my God, I'm on camera. We're on camera. Well, I'm on camera.
Talking to
you.
Yeah, so let everybody know what you're doing.
Hello everyone, I am here right now in Amherst, Nova Scotia, talking to a wonderful friend of mine, Amanda. She can't see you, and I can't see her, but she can see me and what I am saying right now. So,
Can you please let everybody know who Amanda is and where she's from?
okay, I'll let you know. Amanda is from St. John's, Newfoundland. Got it right. And she is a torch champion as of with Sam Elton Tate, her representative, with her. And now I am talking to her right now, giving her our information and telling her where we are, what we're doing, and just saying hello. That's what we're doing.
Does she have anything to say to the viewing audience?
Do you have anything to say, Amanda, to this camera that you cannot see right now?
But will be heard throughout the country.
But will be heard throughout the country. She's ecstatic.
Wow. So I'm going to keep letting the camera roll and go natural.
Or excited, sorry, I said it wrong. Okay, so,
Now it's natural. What would you guys normally talk about?
I don't know. We're just talking.
Pretend the camera's not rolling.
I know. Okay, I'll be right back. I just gotta go I'm gonna talk to my mom for a second, then I'll come back on and talk to you for a bit more. Is that right? Alright, I'll talk to you in a minute. Bye. Okay, George, we got the torch champion in Sarnia.
Who?
Kayla, the one girl I was telling you about.
Did her principal okay?
No, I just talked to her mom. And her mom's static.
The principal has to okay.
Well, her principal will okay. I know.
Okay, but that you can't promise somebody unless their school's behind it. Unless you get another big school behind her. If it's not her school, can you do that?
Her school would be 100% with it. I'm not.
Okay, that's what I just said.
I know for a fact.
Okay,
For a fact.
Okay.
I'm here in Amherst, Nova Scotia at the Comfort Inn. For the last couple of days I've been trying to get some restaurants. Got a few no's, got 1 or 2 yeses. But today we've got a lot of no's for myself. So I didn't want to call. I didn't feel like it. I didn't want to. So I ended up picking up the phone just a couple minutes ago and calling Pizza Delight in Amherst. And guess what? I got a yes. And now we're going to eat at 6:30. So we'll talk to you then at Pizza Delight.
Hold on.
Okay, what?
The whole focus of this story while you're doing all this is because it's not. Let's get this so everybody knows.
Okay.
It's not because you don't know how to get these restaurants, because when you want to, you do it, and,
Yes.
and you usually get it. So
Yeah.
it's not because you don't want to hear a rejection, or it's when you don't want to do it.
I don't have motivation.
It's because you don't want to, and you don't have the motivation.
Yes,
Is that right?
that's exactly right.
Okay, we got this on camera.
Yes, but
Okay.
now we got it and we do it, and I'll do it most of the time now.
Well,
I'll try to
yeah.
at least.
Yeah, don't ever say it's because I don't have it, or
Oh, I got it.
You got it. Okay.
Sometimes I don't.
Sometimes you don't. Okay, but then it's hit and miss.
Yeah,
Okay.
sounds good.
All right.